We just figure government should be leaving us alone and we should be going about our business. And we do. So we have jobs, we have lives, we do things with our kids, and we don't really look at government as something that's going to be intrusive. The left, however, looks at it as an opportunity for them to control you. So while we're busy doing life, they're busy doing government. And then when all of a sudden something does intrude in your life, you wonder, well, how did that happen? Well, it's because you let it.
You know, the most amount of government is right in your backyard. I know we talk about Washington a lot. We talk about what goes on in the Denver Capitol a lot for the state, but it's local governments that you have to deal with the most. Thus, we have this incredible woman at the Independence Institute, Kathleen Chandler, who runs something called the Local Government Project. What is it?
It is a class that I teach on how to get involved in your local government. I always tell people, stop complaining and get involved.
That just sounds awful.
It is.
That just sounds awful.
It is awful.
It just sounds terrible. Who wants to get involved in local government?
Well, if we don't, then the local government actually is the one who's going to restrict your life the most. I mean, think about all of the laws right now that are in going through about gun laws. Mm-hmm. That happens because local government can restrict your ability to conceal carry wherever they want to now because of the laws. Because
Polis signed a law
exactly.
empowering them to take away gun rights.
Exactly. So here's the deal. If you can get on your open space committee, you know, your Parks and Rec usually has an open space area that's a committee. Why not get on that committee and say, no, we don't want to restrict your gun rights in an open space in your community?
Unless, of course, you want to restrict my gun rights, then you could do that as well. But the makeup of local governments are huge. There's 5,000 local governments and special districts in Colorado.
Yep.
And they're the ones that do licensing for buildings and zoning, and they decide how high fences can be. They're the ones who tax you the most. Colorado state taxes on a national average are actually below the national average. Local taxes are well above the national average here in Colorado. That's where government is. And let me say, I think that's where the left is. They love doing this stuff. They love being on the planning board and the library commission and the arts commission because they know how other people should live and they know how you should use them, how they should use your money.
Yep.
Why don't conservatives, libertarians, free marketeers, limited government folks, why don't we gravitate to this?
Well, there's multiple reasons. One is that we just don't see the role of government as the left does, as an opportunity to control others. So we just figure government should be leaving us alone and we should be going about our business. And we do. So we have jobs, we have lives, we do things with our kids, and we don't really look at government as something that's going to be intrusive. The left, however, looks at it as an opportunity for them to control you. So while we're busy doing life, they're busy doing government. And then when all of a sudden something does intrude in your life, you wonder, well, how did that happen? Well, it's because you let it. We need to just start restricting local government so that those in power, those that are elected, are actually the ones that have to make decisions, hold them accountable at the ballot box. These are underlinging bureaucrats or actually just leftists who are manipulating government without even being elected.
It's hard to believe it's almost 30 years since I ran for the RTD board. And talk about a big little government. It's the fourth largest government in the state. It was the most eye-opening, rewarding, transformational experience of my life. I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing now if I wasn't sitting on that ridiculous board. I learned about the beast from the inside. I saw how the bureaucratic mind works. I saw the groupthink. Most importantly, I saw the cronyism. Yeah. I saw the cronyism up close and personal. And it changed me. And so I'm really glad I did that. Yeah. But it's hard to get people to go, oh, wow, I want to give some time and do that. But it's important. What I hear when I go to cocktail parties are grumpy old guys holding their scotch going, hey, we need to get rid of Biden. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then they, as you say, they go back to work. But we can't change D.C. from here.
Right.
It's a hard time to change the state of Colorado, the state legislature from where you are. But one person who who's in local government makes a huge difference. And you're not even asking people to run for office, are you?
No. In fact, what I'm asking is boards and commissions, as you have indicated, actually make up the vast majority of local government. They are run by various citizens that are appointed. Some are elected, but majority of them are appointed. And they're appointed by their local county commissioner or by their city council member or some other government agency. And those people sit on those boards and they make decisions on behalf of that board. And oftentimes they take the pressure off of the local official that's elected. And so they kind of do this dirty work. And these boards and commissions can have budgetary implications. They can have rulemaking authority. I mean, they are actually a bureaucrat of all bureaucrats.
A zoning board.
Absolutely.
And so who goes on zoning boards? A lot of time builders and architects go on zoning boards because the more stuff they require you to do, the more business that they and their friends get. On the issue of energy, every city now has an energy advisory commission.
Right.
And so those people who hate fossil fuels are happy to serve on those.
Right.
Those people who use fossil fuels are getting their kids to school and they don't have time for that.
Right.
And so you don't have to be elected. You don't have to run a campaign.
Right.
You don't have to give a ton of time. But if you're concerned about the direction of Colorado, if you're complaining, here's something you can go do.
Right.
You do this class. Tell me a little bit about the class, because you've got, when is it coming up?
It's on July 26th. It's at 6:30 p.m. There's a link on our website to get the class. It's by Zoom, and that is really an advantage. Of all the things COVID allowed us to do, one of them was to open up this technology base. By having it on Zoom, the entire state of Colorado, and actually I've had people from other states attend as well to see what we're doing here. But the whole idea is to just learn about the barriers to entry, learn about how to do this, and then
do what?
Get on these boards, how to apply. A lot of them you were just talking about the RTD. There are several boards that actually have vacancies. Like nobody's on it, or it's a 7-person board and they only need 5 in order to have quorum. So there's 2 positions that are kind of hanging out there that nobody really cares about. And there's no incentive from the bureaucrat or the city liaison to fill those 2 positions, so they just kind of limp along. Well, why not fill those 2 positions with liberty-loving people? So the whole idea is it'll take about 5 hours a month, and to help stave off local government. I believe my freedom, your freedom, is worth at least 5 hours a month.
Well, you're talking about an hour a week or so.
Yeah.
And for me, it's interesting to watch a TED Talk. I can go on YouTube and get lost in watching engineers. I saw one on the pull tab, all the engineering that went into the pull tab. It's like, that's fascinating. You want to know something fascinating? See what's going on in your backyard, right, and see how the budgetary process works, how the regulatory process works. And let's be honest, there's a long-term benefit here. Some people really love this, and they might end up running for city council or state legislator themselves, or they might become a political activist, or they might be sending little notes to the local reporter about what's going on. All sorts of things change when one person does something. The thing I learned at RTD was the power of one person in DC is not much. Power of one person down at the state capitol, maybe. Power of one person in your neighborhood or in state or local government where the majority of government is can be awesome. Yeah. It can be overwhelming.
It can be transformative for sure. But we have had some great successes along the road. A gentleman named Kurt Huffman, he came to my class several years ago. He decided to actually volunteer down at the state capitol. He wanted to know more about it. And eventually, Kurt was just appointed as the House District 41, I believe it was 41, a member this last week, and he actually won his primary. So here's Kurt, who decided, you know what, I don't want to just sit on the sidelines. And he's actually at the state capitol. That can happen. Or you can sit on a board for a very long time and be a very productive person. I happen to be on the motor vehicle dealer board for the state of Colorado. I know.
The most desired spot there is in government.
It is. But it's all about licensing, right? Who gets a license to be a dealer? Who gets a license to be
you even have to get a license to sell a car?
You do. And not only a car, but an ATV, a boat, all kinds of other a ski doodle, all those kinds of mechanized things.
I never even knew you needed special permission to risk your wealth to sell and start a business.
And to not only the dealer, but then the person who's actually selling it. So you have to have actually 2 licenses. The person who's actually selling the vehicle has to have a license.
It's
and
everywhere.
The dealer, right. But that board allows me to sit on there and go, this person deserves a license, this person doesn't deserve a license. That's the power of this board. And I can't tell you. In other words,
you have the power to say, this person can earn a living,
and
that person doesn't get a chance.
And my goal is to save as many people's ability to do their job as possible within the rules and the parameters, and to interject liberty along the way and competition. So even though I'm on this really strange board, I think I'm having an effect. So I hope that
Are you
others...
having fun? Real fast, we're almost out of time.
It's kind of fun. I mean, there are moments when it's like, this person, I know she will vote no, I know this person. But it's also...
You learn the dynamics as well.
Absolutely.
It is an eye-opener.
It is.
It's something that changed my life. I'm really glad you're doing this. One more time, the class?
July 26th, 6:30 p.m. by Zoom. There's a link on our website.
Which is thinkfreedom.org.
Thinkfreedom.org. Go in there. I think it's a $5 entry fee just to kind of cover the costs. And you'll learn all about how to get involved in a board or commission.
You don't have to, but you'll get some information.
Absolutely.
Worth doing. Kathleen, the work you do is just crucial for Colorado, and it's empowering for people too. So please check it out. Go to thinkfreedom.org. While you're there, check out all of our writings, reports. Check out Complete Colorado as well. See you soon. If you enjoyed that conversation, by all means, click one of these other great programs. We have the best conversations with the most fascinating Coloradans. And subscribe to our channel. Just click down below and hit that little bell button too. You don't want to miss a single show.